Football's back. Coming up next.
Good evening, everybody. It is August 16th, and here we are, episode 138 of Command This. If you're watching this, thank you for joining on the replay. No live tonight. We're just recording. We're in chill mode tonight. But yeah, tonight we're going to recap the preseason game versus the Panthers. Talk a little about the state experience. I got to take my family there. I'll share that with you guys, and then we'll go over some transactions and talk about some moves the team made this week. So, fellas. What did you think about the game first and foremost?
I felt overall pretty positive. A lot of things are trending upward. I like that the first team offense was out there. They got reps. It wasn't your typical what we're used to is the first week of the preseason. I mean, Carson Wentz got off 13 passes. When's the last time you saw a starting quarterback do that?
Yeah, for real.
Week one. But he needed it. And the offense was geared towards two things. One, some light work and showing some random looks. Not too many, but enough just to kind of get that light work in with Curtis Samuel in motion and doing different things. And two, it seemed like a lot of it was, let's get Carson Wentz in rhythm. And that's why it was a lot of short passes, a lot of just getting timing down. And hey, I'll take 10 of 13 passing. That's really efficient.
Yeah.
And, with a pretty vanilla offense, 74 yards isn't great, but they weren't really trying to go downfield. They had a couple of passes downfield, and they were contested, but they were there. You got to see the fact that for the first time in a long time, we got a quarterback with elite arm strength. And not just at the starting quarterback position. We'll get to that in a second.
That's right. Dad, what are your initial thoughts on the game, bro?
Drop my mic. I think we played well. As far as the ball control of the offense, I like the way that we were running our plays. I like the way we was getting in and out of the huddle fast. There was no penalties that I can remember. Not any big ones. I think maybe one or two, right?
Yeah, very few.
I don't remember that one. I didn't think that game didn't look like your typical first preseason game where there was penalties. It was exciting at the end. It seemed like I wasn't there. You guys were. It seemed like the crowd was into it throughout most of the preseason game. That said something. So I'm okay with it, man. I want to build on it. Obviously, I don't want Gibson to fumble.
Yeah. So the game, it was great. We saw the starters play for 2 series, 3 series maybe. You saw a couple guys stay in later and continue to play. But yeah, Wentz was efficient, kind of like you said, Phil. It's exactly what I wanted to see from him. And you could say it was kind of vanilla. He was 10 for 13, 74 yards, very efficient. And I think a lot of that is just getting some timing down, some tempo down. There were some short, quick hits. And hopefully it was a byproduct of Scott Turner keeping the playbook vanilla for preseason.
He looked like he got the ball pretty fast, man. As far as I went and looked at a couple of some people had some all 24 up. And I watched a couple of those on YouTube, and he looked like he was getting the ball out pretty fast, like he's pretty decisive. I would have definitely liked him to take another 1 or 2 shots, maybe.
Yeah, down the field, he took a couple up the seam, up the sideline. I think it was to Terry. He had a nice quick hit to Curtis Samuel. He caught a little quick screen, didn't get hit, made a couple yards. I think what's his name, Samuel. His screen in total was 8 yards, give or take. So that was kind of cool. And then
I thought the McKissick run was the best play of the night
because it was McKissick doing McKissick things, right? That's what he does. He's kind of like our own cheat code, if you think about it. That's how I like to call it. Hard to cover. I just hope that's just what he's going to do throughout the year. He looks healthy, but his injury last year was head related, wasn't it? Concussion.
Yeah, he got KO'd.
Yeah, so that shouldn't have affected his body. So he should be hopefully very healthy moving into this season. But yeah, first team offense. The only really major thing to talk about is Antonio Gibson. I mean, the dude just fumbles at the worst time. I think in 20 2020, he had 150 carries and maybe 2 fumbles. And then come 2021, he had almost double that, almost 300 carries, and he had like 6 or 7 fumbles. So it's a thing now for him. Terrible.
Not only that, I'm reading on like Twitter and on people that were at camp practice today that Robinson started out with the ones today. Gibson was not a one.
I saw that on multiple
Gibson
podcasts,
was running with the special teams blocking,
which is crazy, which means they might be prepping him for, if you're going to be on this team, you're going to play teams. If you're going to be in this, if you want to get on the 53, you're going to have to play teams.
He's definitely get on the 53. Let's not be ridiculous.
He is. He's too good of a player not to be on the 53. But he got the ball 4 times, 2 yards, and a fumble. And then Brian Robinson comes in the game, 6 rushes, 26 yards, a touchdown. He had 11 yards. 11 yard was his longest run. He just ran with a purpose. It's just no frills, no thrills, no north-south, no stutter step. The dude just went 12 o'clock straight up the hole. It was good to see.
Let me tell you about Brian Robinson, and I said this on I was on Parker Hamlet's pod on Sunday. I dropped on Monday. So if y'all haven't checked that out, check that out. Shout out to the boy Parker. But I said this. I referenced Tim Hightower in the fact that you can use the same adjective. He runs with violence. Brian Robinson runs with violence. He runs like a man who knows first of all, he's aggressive naturally, but you can tell that he feels that there is an opportunity for him to snag the primary share of carries on this team. And he's playing like it because, it can't be coincidence that as soon as we start hearing about these struggles that Gibson's having, suddenly Robinson's also peaking at the exact same time. This is a man who knows that his moment could be arriving sooner than he thought, and he is going to take advantage of it. I like that hunger.
Dude, it just, I plug another show. I was on Andy Burroughs' pod, and Kyle from the Burgie Zone was the co-host, and I said, our iron sharpens iron. The question came up: Will Antonio Gibson fix his problems with Brian Robinson being right behind him? And I would like to say yes. Competition breeds greatness in most scenarios. If I got someone right on my heels, I'm gonna do better. Same goes for the next topic of the evening is Sam Howell and Taylor Heineke. Taylor Heineke comes in. We got exactly what we thought we were going to get from Taylor. I don't think we were expecting greatness. 4 for 9, 21 yards and an interception. We know what he's going to be. He's a good backup quarterback. What we didn't know was that Sam Howell was going to come in and go 9 for 16, 145 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
I told y'all earlier. I told y'all when the season when we drafted him, he's going to get in the place preseason. He's a Colt Brennan. Definitely Colt Brennan. That's what you're going to get.
I love Colt Brennan, by the way. I don't think he's Colt Brennan,
bro.
Yes,
but
rest in peace.
I told you. No, I'm not saying they're the same skill wise. I'm saying that he's going to be a celebrity preseason quarterback like Colt Brennan. Like I knew it. I told y'all this was going to happen. He's going to go in there and he's going to light up preseason, and everybody's going to be like, "Hey, man, what about this guy?"
So I would like to see Sam Howell get time with the twos, because if you look at it, Carson Wentz with the ones going against the ones, Taylor number 2 going with the twos, and he didn't perform. He didn't outperform at the 2 level. He just underperformed. I want to see Sam Howell get competition with the twos because Sam Howell dominated the 3s. Yeah. I want to see how he does against the 2s.
I entertain your pseudo quarterback controversy here, but if he beats out Heineke for the number 2 quarterback position, do you cut Heineke?
You trade him to the New York Jets because Mr.
Daniel Jones,
Zach Wilson has a ACL injury, and they need a quarterback. So if you could flip Heineke for a 4th,
they got Flacco and another dude, don't they? The white dude, what's the name? White.
That's really narrowed it down for me, man. White quarterback.
No, he's not a white dude. His last name's White, man.
Oh, I don't know. Not Pat White. Not sure.
No, he had a game where he threw like 400 yards last year. Whenever dude went out,
Oh,
dude
really?
came in and threw like 400 yards.
Okay, yep, I know who you're talking about. I can't remember.
I can't think of his name. Yeah, and they got Flacco. So
Yeah.
I mean, Heineke's not really better than them. Why would you put him down for Heineke?
Cole Kelly is cut, so you're down to 3 quarterbacks, and the question is, are they going to keep 2 or 3? They're probably going to keep 3. Knowing Carson Wentz's injury history, and Taylor, same thing. You're going to keep 3. We can see that.
Oh, he definitely keeping 3. But I just wonder, like, if I think the only reason we guarantee to keep 3 is because Harold got drafted. You know what I'm saying? But if Harold beats out Heineke, do you really want to keep 3 quarterbacks, or could you put Heineke on that practice squad do not grab?
You could secure him if you need to slide people down and slide people up.
Right, because some way we got to keep. I think we're going to end up keeping 4 tight ends, man. I don't know how they're going to do it.
But they are going to keep 4 tight ends.
I think
we'll talk about that in a second. We'll talk about that later on.
Keep like 7 receivers.
If the competition is close, you don't put Heineke down there and reserve that veteran spot on the practice list for you. Just put Sam Howell down there because no one can snag him, and you save that.
He's a 5th round pick though.
Doesn't matter when you're picked. If you're within your first 2 years of tenure on that practice squad, you cannot be signed. Like you're good.
Is it a thing where they can't sign you, or they can like?
If you're a rookie, I gotta look it up. If you're a rookie, for sure,
you have to be on the first 53 though. Does he have to make the first 53? Is what I'm concerned about. Can you put on practice squad before you cut? Because you cut him, you gotta wait the cuts up to throw people on the practice squad. So if you cut him, you have to cut him first. I would think, right? At the 53.
Well, it's weird because I don't want to speak out of turn and act like I know the answer to this because it's weird for the beginning of the season because I don't know if you have to cut them, clear waivers, and then put them on the practice squad, or you can just slide them. I think what I was talking about only counts, like you said, if you're on the 53 and you slide over to the practice squad throughout the season.
Right. I think you got the RB, but that's what I'm saying. So at the end of the season, you do cuts. Harold has to make the initial team.
Yeah, he has to, and then you just play a chess game after that, shell game after that.
Heineke may not.
Yeah. On a contract though,
because he's getting like $4 million. Who's going to grab a $4 million out of the practice squad?
It's funny though. Do you guys know that? Everyone compares a lot of people compare Sam Howell to Taylor Heineke, and the only similarity I see is just because they're 6'1", 220, white, and a scruggly in a scruff beard.
I mean, both mobile.
Yeah, well, I will say, Baker Mayfield looked pretty good against our ones. The defense did not impress me at all. At least the starting defense didn't impress me at all.
I can actually point out a couple of
our linebackers are terrible, bro.
Our linebackers are not good. We're gonna get ate up in that game.
Okay, though, to keep it real, but they still were terrible.
Yeah.
Now I will say this: I like that I saw more man coverage
as opposed to just the zone all the time and quarterback should eat it up.
Good. You know, Kendall got beat on that touchdown, but I chalked that up more to play design than bad coverage.
Play design of the offense.
Yeah, Kendall Fuller got. We got beat on that touchdown.
I mean, defensive play calling or
no. I chalked that up to really good offensive play calling by the Panthers more than anything. Yeah. These are professionals you're playing. They are going to score points, right? They are going to get yards. So keep that in mind. Also, we're running pretty vanilla concepts, but we're still running a lot more man. I hope that continues. I think that's going to be a recipe for longer term success.
Right.
Percy
Butler, got some run with the twos. He looked good. He was flying all over the field. Phil Mathis was eating up all kinds of space in the middle.
Oh, what's the other guy's name?
Which one?
Ibarra.
Oh, David Bada?
No, the dude we got just now, he plays back. He just got it from, I think we got it from the Ravens or the Bills.
Yeah, Bada.
That dude, wow.
Yeah, he had 4 tackles, 2 solos, and a half sack.
Yeah. I like Mathis. I think that Mathis has actually come along. He's quietly been one of the better ones come out of camp, it seems like, after this preseason game. Like, you don't hear anything about him, but if we don't keep Deron Payne, I'm fine with Mathis. If he plays like that, if he's just going to eat up space in the middle, that frees up a John Allen.
Man,
You know,
we got to trade Payne, bro. He's going to
Yeah.
be gone for nothing. And I want us to re-sign him. Number one, I want to re-sign him. But in order for us to re-sign him, it's going to be a contract that's totally unfair.
At the cost of what, though? You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. It's going to be totally unfair to Payne for the money we can afford to
You're
sign
going to
him.
be choosing between Payne and Montez here really soon, I think.
You're going to choose between Payne, Montez, and Curl. Two of them. One of them might be gone. One of those three are gone, bro. And
Can't keep them all.
I think, man, trade him.
Get
to the Bears, man.
Get a third rounder and let's call it
good. Get what's his name from the Bears, a linebacker, Mike, a born Mike. Get that dude, man.
What's his name? The guy that just requested a trade?
Right.
What's his name? I'm brain farts.
But so Roquan Smith. Is that
Roquan Smith. That's right.
Get that guy. Get that guy, man. You know what I'm saying? They got like 11 sacks, 5 interceptions, 100 tackles, or some crazy shit. Get that guy, man.
Yeah, Roquan
I understand. I want
to
keep Payne, though. Number one, I want to keep Payne, but there's no way we can afford that guy and pay him what he deserves to get paid. Someone's going to offer him way more than we can.
Can't do it. Yeah. I mean, 23-21 was the final box score. We didn't get any major injuries. I think we accomplished what we needed to accomplish. His is just a nagging injury, though. I don't think that happened at the game specifically. At least I don't know for sure. But
by the way, I played preseason in Madden with those guys, and Harold and him went the F off, bro. I had he played like 3 quarters, but he had like 100 rushing yards and 250 passing. I think dude caught like 3 passing touchdowns from him.
Did you just play the computer generated
I played it
subs?
I played, yeah.
Where they put those people in automatically? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
Yeah, I put him in over Heineke just.
Usually that's where on Madden I just sim through that joint.
Yeah,
I don't want to play that
Harold,
stuff.
But I read option with Harold is like
okay. That's fair. Well, the overall stadium experience was well. If you haven't already done so, please go check out the vlog that I did earlier. Very short and sweet, less than 10 minutes on the stadium experience. It was fun. I brought all 3 of my children and my wife, and we had a good time. We got these cool little Commanders fight towels. Pretty cool.
Just trying to be Pittsburgh now, huh?
Not bad. I mean, yeah, I know, right? Came to the first 30K, which they eventually ran out. So they had over 30K, which was cool. But the people were complaining about the beer prices online, and on the 3rd floor, yes, you only had one choice for beer at the moment, and it was these massive king cans, 25 ounces, I believe.
24. 2 cans in one.
2 beers with the price of $18 for the import and $16 for the domestic. So in essence, you're paying maximum $9 a beer technically. The only downside is that for those who don't want to drink that much beer, there was no other option unless you could go to the bar and maybe get something smaller. But I don't know.
Who the hell is going to a game and drinking one beer? What kind of a pansy ass are you?
You know, it was nice to have the smaller, like the metal bottles, Bud Light bottles. But like I said on Twitter, and you saw it, Phil, I think this is all just stemmed to they don't have Bud Light as a sponsor anymore. They're working out a new beer sponsor deal. So whenever that happens, whoever it's going to be, they'll have smaller beers.
Miller. We had
man,
Miller Lite. My
girlfriend works directly for the owner of Bird Dog, man.
Just going around selling peach whiskey and grape whiskey and blueberry whiskey.
Too, bro. They got beer, man. They got beer.
Bird Dog has beer?
Let me tell you this.
The maker of them has beer. I don't know what it's called, but they do.
When Steve and I went to the FedEx Field open practice, and I am fading out again. See, look, my vision's as blurry as if you had 6 of those king cans.
I thought it was me because I may have had some of the devil's lettuce before. I thought it was me.
But I was so happy to see Miller Lite because I think Bud Light is absolute garbage. It's a garbage beer. I'm actually glad that the rest of the league can have that trash. Miller Lite is a way better beer if you're going to talk about domestic lights. So this is an improvement, people. All right. We are improving your lives by bringing you Miller Lite in big cans. So that means that if you want 2 beers, you order 2 of these king cans, and you get to have basically 4 cans of beer at your seat. You don't even, you're only limited to take 2 at a time.
I haven't
You
drank a
take 2 of the
beer.
King cans, you got 4. We've made your life easier, people.
I haven't drank a beer since 9th grade. So I haven't taken a sip of a beer since 9th grade.
I'm sorry they don't sell
and it was Miller. And it was a Miller nip. It was Miller Lite, by the way. But
yeah,
I haven't drinking a beer at all. I hate the taste of beer, and I can't take it.
I really wonder who they're going to get for the sponsorship.
Pacifico. Give me some Pacifico.
Pacifico would be cool. Pacifico's great, by the way. And I think this was a byproduct of they just backed out when everyone else was backing out, right? They just jumped on the ship. Bud Light just jumped on the ship and backed out.
What kind of do they have any like specialty drinks? Like here
they do. Yeah. Oh well, no.
Mint Juliet, whatever. Mint Julep.
No, I don't think so, but I could be wrong.
There is no
like a marquee drink you get there.
I don't like the Rigo, the diesel, and it's just
like what is the state or the district of Washington's drink? Like ours is the mint julep. You know what I'm saying? Like
we don't necessarily have one of those here.
OE.
Steel Reserve, 211, Mickey's. No, that's Boston. Yeah, no, I don't know. But the experience was great. We sat up in the third level again. Got those $20 seats on Ticketmaster, which was awesome. And I couldn't get to my seat on time to get the new fight song, but I do want to take 1 minute of our time to play this new fight song. Get your guys' opinion.
Very slow.
It was very slow. They played 2 versions. So they played a version at 12:45 before kickoff, and they played a version later in the game. So one was slow and one was a little bit quicker. So I just want to get your guys' take on it very quickly and let me know what you think. You hear it? So I don't have the version that they played after they scored the touchdown because it was different. I don't know if they're playing with different sheet music, but it was different when they played it after the touchdown. But I think the issue with that one was necessarily, I want to say, chop it up to the singer, not necessarily the music or the tune or whatever.
She had an excellent voice, by the way. It's just it was a
fantastic voice. Yeah, it was don't national anthem. It was a little bit too extended on a lot of things, and then. I'm not going to say it needs to be a male voice because that's what it always was, but it just needs to be quicker. The tempo just faster. It was just too slow. It didn't jive. And let me get your guys' opinion real quick. Now that we're talking about the fight song, my personal opinion is it should have just been a whole new song. They're trying to bridge the old with the new. So I get it. And it's cool. But at this point, we've already rebranded, man. It's time to maybe just rip off the Band-Aid and go another direction. It's not going to happen this year, but if they do go another direction, I could care less. And I don't care what the fight song is either. Fight song is not something that I'm going to go to
get rid of it altogether
to bat for. And same with the mascot. While we were at the game, they flashed on the screen a voting poll. I put it in the vlog about where should we go for the new mascot, and there was 4 choices. They had a hog. They had a superhero. They had a historical figure, and then they had what was it? Here, I'm going to put it on the screen right now. And I want to get your guys' thoughts on this real quick. What do you think about this? So this went up for voting. Shout out to Stephen Wino on Twitter. hog, historical figure, a dog, and a superhero. So Phil, what is your take on a mascot if we're narrowed into those 4?
Well, if we're naming between those 4, I really don't understand the need for a mascot. But I get it. Kansas City's got one. Everybody's got mascots. If we're gonna do it, my first choice would be hog because it's tying past the future, and you get a really good, tie-in with like the hog farmers, which I think would be a great idea. They're a very charitable organization. You tie it in so well and so easily. And look, charity is great press. Philanthropy sells.
Yeah.
So that would be my first choice. All right. It's just, to me, it's a common sense move. I don't like any of the stupid animations they're using. Can we stay away from that? If we're going to do something animated, I don't know, give me a freaking anime hog that like goes Kamehameha and just blasts everybody, or something, let's do something that looks a little more aggressive. All right. But that's just me. If we can't do hog, do dog, make it like a military dog, like a German Shepherd or something like that. Belgian Malinois, something like that. But I don't know. I'm not the biggest. To me, that's not really like a huge deal either way. Just
yeah, I totally am on board with you. When I was on the in the bunker pod with Andy and Kyle, they said the same thing. None of us really care about the mascot. The mascot is something that's really going to appeal to the younger kids. That's what a mascot's for. And if you're going to appeal to the younger kids, it's not going to be a historical figure. It's not going to be a hog. It's not maybe a dog. It's going to be a superhero or something in that category. So I recommend it. And then we were going to the stadium. There was these Mandalorians everywhere. Mandalorians painted in the burgundy and gold colors with W's on them. It was awesome. They were taking pictures and everything. And I don't know how you get past the licensing, because if they weren't willing to pay for Red Wolves, which wouldn't have cost hardly anything, I don't think they're going to go toe-to-toe with Disney to try to be a Mandalorian. However, if they can somehow find something similar, and if the mascot, like you said, Phil, we're grown adults, we don't care about the mascots for the kids, I think the superhero is the only way to bridge that gap. Hogs, of course, would be the most fitting. And when we're selfish, because we relate to the hogs, but younger kids, they don't relate to the hogs at all. So I don't know about you, Dev, which one you think you would have preference on, but
it depends. Because I'm wondering if you say dog, can you do variations of dogs, or just gonna be some fucking puppy?
What if
it was like a wolf or a fox?
What if it's a wolf?
I wonder if it'll be a fox.
What if it's
or
a red wolf? What if it's a red wolf?
I'm wondering, like,
Phil
why
would
wouldn't it be
flip
cool
out.
to have a wolf? And then every time Howell touches a touchdown,
I'm getting, as we're speaking, right now. Let me get to the Howell thing in a second, because I brought this up on Twitter. But as we're speaking, I am getting bombarded by people who still wish the name was Red Wolves. Like, they will not let go, because they're a bunch of little pansy asses who I really start to question whether or not they should be within 1,000 feet of a school, because they're so into such a kiddie name. All right. But I will say this. I said the only time howling is allowed is when Sam Howell's on the field.
Man, look, if they get a dog and it's like a wolf.
Heineke's got the hive and Howell's got the howlers.
If it's a dog and this is just a wolf, like it was just an arbitrary, generic ass fucking red fucking wolf.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or a black one or a yellow wolf, just a wolf. I tell you, it'd be dope though, honestly, if they had a hog and dressed him up like George Washington. And he came out with a sword. That'd be pretty dope.
So you're saying mix all 4 together?
Man, have a hog with a sword, dog, and dress it up fucking American patriot type fucking dog,
and then put a collar on it with a leash, and then that's the dog aspect. Now you've just encompassed all 4.
No, just hit the hog, man. Just a hog with a fucking George Washington white wig on, man, and a fucking historical figure outfit on, and the sword, and he run out every day, and get everybody crunk, dog. There you go, the hogs.
Dogs work. I mean, the Georgia Bulldog, that people love that guy, but their team is a bulldog.
Why don't they just get a tank though? I don't get that. Just get a fucking tank.
Get a tank, put it on the field after you score a touchdown.
Yeah.
Kaboom! Like the Bucks
Confetti
do
and
in
shit
their
fly out. Be dope.
the Bucks do in their
Yeah, with the
pirate
pirate
ship.
ship. Put a big ass tank out there and blow out confetti and shoot the crowd, dog. Every time they
Yeah.
score a touchdown.
Oh,
Or
man.
Miller Lite coupons. Shit.
Don't get Phil upset.
Solo cups. Shoot solo cups into the crowd.
No comment.
So let's talk some recent moves.
Did you know
here.
those little lines on the solo cup are measuring lines? Did y'all know that?
Did not.
Yes, they are measuring lines. So you know exactly what you got in them.
That's genius, by the way.
Right.
So let's talk about some roster moves here real quick, fellas. So here's the latest list of roster moves. They released safety Troy Apke. Hashtag Trapke season. You know, Trev from Ref the District and I used to go back and forth about pretending to love Troy Apke. Don't give a crap about Troy Apke.
Man, I'm gonna tell you the truth though, bro. I felt like Cuba Gooden on Boys in the Hood whenever Ricky got shot. When they fired Rocky, I was like, Apke! It was like running. That's how I felt. I felt like Cuba Gooden Jr. the day that Ricky got killed, scratching a lottery ticket in the alley on Boys in the Hood. That's how it happened whenever Apke came to practice and Ron rolled up and shot him, just like they did Ricky.
I'm surprised he lasted this long. What does he offer? I don't know what he offers. Speed, man. Special teams, but
he had all the white adjectives that you like to use for.
He did. Like Dax Mill. Go check out two pods ago. Yeah. We released quarterback Devontae Bosby, guard Dion Calhoun. They placed fullback Alex Arma and tight end Samus Reyes on the injured reserve. So Reyes had a lingering hamstring issue. I secretly wonder if this is just a plan to continue to stash him. This is 2 years in a row.
For bullshit, too.
And he looked fine in the practice 2 weeks ago. He looked, you know, so if they're just trying to stash him to build him up, and I don't know, but he's on the IR. He's not going to play this year technically, so we'll see what happens. They waived wide receiver Jaquez Azard from the injured reserve with a settlement. So that was the roster moves. I think they're down to 85, give or take, from the 90 plus. So we're cut season. Here it goes. I don't know the exact NFL roster rules, deadlines and timelines, but it's coming. Game 2 this weekend against the Chiefs, if I'm not mistaken. And then the final game of the season is going to be against the Ravens, Battle of the Beltways.
They never lose a preseason game, so
the 27 August, I think, something like that, give or take. So
break that streak.
I know, right? Seriously. But so yeah, I think the big news today was Samus Reyes going to the IR and Troy Apke being released. But Dev, well, you talked about earlier in the show, with Samus Reyes gone, the tight end room is now down to Logan Thomas, who's going to be on the pup.
I think he's going to play.
Well, we'll just say, okay, Logan Thomas, John Bates, Cole Turner, and Bucky Hodges. All 4 of those dudes are, at least 3 are making the 53.
Rodgers, man, the guy in the preseason. Armani Rodgers.
Oh, and I was forgetting about him. Never mind.
That's what I'm saying. They got to find a way to get 4 on the team, man.
But I don't think he's going to make this roster.
I think he makes it over the other guy.
What
Why didn't Hodges start? If that's the case.
I don't know.
Man, hey, I'm telling you, Armani Rodgers making the team, man. I don't know how they're going to do it.
He's a dark horse. I
don't know how they're going to do it. It's a lot of, it's like we got a lot of weak spots where we can need some of these guys, but the places where we have guys that look like they might sneak on a team are places where we're pretty strong at, like running back. We got a few running backs, so Patterson, he's who knows?
Practice squad if he doesn't get re-signed.
Right. You see whatever the fullback got put on IR, so who's the fullback?
I don't know.
Like, we really going to have a fullback.
I know. Why is he on the team every year, though?
I know. And if you saw, the connection between Sam Howell and Alex Erickson and Dax Milne was great. Milne and Erickson both played well. Did you see how fast when Dax Milne caught that ball and he just took off the yak? it was insane. Was not expecting that from Dax Milne.
Everybody
That
keeps
burst
expecting
of
Erickson
speed.
not to make the team, man, but he's always around.
Well, yeah, let's talk about that. The receiver room is going to be even crazier.
It is such a battle for like that 5th and 6th spot right now. I mean, you expect Cam to make it because Cam got, because Cam got the contract. You would have thought Milne would get it because Milne was drafted by this team. Then, Harmon's getting as many targets as anybody out there in the preseason, and he's looked good in camp. And you got guys like Michelle and some of these other guys who have shown up as well. You just don't know.
Kelvin Harmon dropped a perfect ball.
He did. That hurt him.
He's not making a good play for himself. So the wide receiver is going to get crowded. I don't know who they're going to keep. No clue. But if they keep six is stretching it. I don't know. Michael Markin, Harmon, McGowan. There might be on the outside looking in. You could even make it Milne and Erickson. There's not even room for all those guys. Like one of those guys is not going to make it. If you think about it.
It really is.
Jahan, Curtis, Diami, Cam, Dax, Milne. Is he your 5? I don't know. And that leaves Harmon, Michael, McGowan, Erickson. That leaves 4 to spare. That's crazy. Now, will they amount to anything? Who knows? But that's just, I don't know. It's a good problem to have. I'll put it that way. We haven't had problems like that in a long time. So having depth problems, positive depth problems is great. But I don't know if there's going to be a case of where people always complain, oh, they're going to go to another team and ball out. I don't know. It's hard to say. Will they? Yeah. Who knows? Dev, I think you're disappearing into the abyss with that new yellow background you got there for the audio crew. Dev's playing with his background and he's going to disappear on us. But
how many people would you say were at the game on Saturday?
Maybe 30, 35 tops. Maybe now. Well, anywhere between 25 and 35. It's hard to say. And I would say it was at least 90-10 in Commanders versus Panthers fans. And I'm really shocked how much Commanders apparel I'm seeing. I thought we were going to have this resistance. Everyone's wearing the W. It's awesome. And people are conforming. I mean, of course, there's a lot of people wearing Redskins gear too, which is perfectly fine. A lot of people wearing Washington football gear, which is also perfectly fine. But there's a ton of people wearing Commanders gear. Did not expect that. Way more than I thought there would be. But I would say anywhere from 25 to 35. It was my gauge is very tough to see how many people are in that stadium because I think they're down to like 65 capacity. I don't know the total amount, but it was probably a third full, a little over a third full, give or take, but not as many Panthers fans, but there was some blue and black there, which is expected, but nowhere near as what you normally see. So, last topic here real quick. Let's move on to the NFL Top 100. So that list dropped this week. It's starting to drop. And we talked about this, if you guys remember, earlier in the year, I think in the offseason, we talked about the NFL Top 100 and how we knew Jonathan Allen was probably going to be the only one. A lot of it was around Terry's contract. Was he going to get signed? He got signed. But even Dev makes a good argument. Is Terry even top 10 in the wide receiver position? Like, that's the argument you have to ask yourself. And Terry did not make the NFL Top 100. He did not. Jonathan Allen came in at 88. You know, the old DeLorean going back into time, miles per hour. And I'll just rip off a couple other of these names just to see if there's any other wide receivers on this list so far. They're only at 51 right now. And I only see 3 wide receivers. CeeDee Lamb at 95. I see Mike Evans at 53, and then I see Jalen Waddle at 63 on the Dolphins. So that's what we're looking at so far. And Terry's not on that list, which means
Lamb is not on this list if Terry McLaurin is not on this list.
Here's my problem. I think the NFL top 100 have always been, I value that list much more than the Pro Bowl, because this is only voted on by players, for players. And then when I see something like you just said, like CeeDee Lamb at 95, he's only running the beast, or Jalen Waddle even higher, it makes me start to question my judgment and my faith in the NFL top 100. But the players are voting. The players put Jalen Waddle at 63. I don't watch a lot of Dolphins games, but I didn't think he was that good, to be honest with you. I'll rip off a couple. Von Miller made 93. I mean, I feel like that dude didn't play that much last year. Kyle Pitts, 91. Odell Beckham at 90. Sorry, another wide receiver I missed. Only played half the year. Kirk Cousins, 99. Then the bottom of the list, 100. Kyle, the fullback from the 49ers, a fullback made this list. Kyle Juszczyk. I don't want to say his last name. Juszczyk made the list. So Mac Jones made this list at 85.
Yeah, Mac Jones made that. I don't respect it. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it's fucking stupid. That dude had a couple of games where he had like 4 completions and 7 completions.
The players voted on this. I'm seeing people on here.
Players need to bring back weed testing, bro.
Roquan Smith, 84. That means we need to sign him.
Right. Roquan Smith at 84, but where's fucking Mac Jones?
85.
Right.
Right behind him.
I don't know if we allowed to say this on the United States Airways, but nigga, please. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life, bro. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life.
And check this out. Kyler Murray at 57. I thought he might be a little bit higher. Darren Waller, tight end from the Raiders at 58. Max Crosby, defensive end at 59. We talked a lot about these players during our top fives. We did edge rushers. We did tight ends. 2 guys from the Raiders making the top list at 58 and 59. Russell Wilson, 61. Quarterback of the Broncos. Chandler Jones, defensive
where was
end
Kirk Cousins? Where was Kirk Cousins?
Kirk Cousins, 99.
Ooh, damn. Dev. That kills your argument.
You're on mute, Dev. Yes, Kirk was 99. Russell Wilson was 61.
Well, get that mute off, Dev, because we're not hearing
Derek Carr, 65.
No way. I guess Mac Jones is better than Kirk Cousins.
The
world is weird, bro. The world is weird as shit.
List, he is.
We're going to get Rookie of the Year, but he's better than a Pro Bowl quarterback.
Having some effect on this list.
And the thing is, if we were just going by 1 year, Kirk Cousins probably had one of the top 3 or 4 quarterbacking years of all of last year.
Let me ask you this.
Just last year alone.
Can you name one wide receiver on the Patriots?
No, but can you name any? But would it matter? Would it matter who that quarterback is?
I don't think Brian Hoyer couldn't do that well.
Come on, man. Brian Hoyer was just as many games as fucking Mac Jones.
Hoyer was 101. No, I'm kidding.
I'm saying. It didn't make any sense, man.
You know what? It's too early for Mac Jones. I don't know. It's too early for Mac Jones. I don't know.
Mac Jones wasn't even good last year. He was a very average quarterback last year, bro.
He was the best of all the rookie quarterbacks.
No, he wasn't. The best rookie quarterback is in Texas. Quit playing, man. Easily. The Texas quarterback is the best quarterback rookie in the
You saying that?
Davis Mills?
Yeah. Mills had a way better year than Mac last year. Yes. 100%.
Hold on. Let me use the Dev argument. How many games did he win?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. The team's not better, but he was a better quarterback, man.
So Mac Jones was 352 for 521, 67.6%. So 68%.
Yeah,
3,800 yards, average 7.3, 22 touchdowns, 13 interceptions for a rating of 92.5.
Good quarterback, man.
Davis Mills, 263, 394, 67%, 2664, 16 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, a quarterback rating of 88.8. Now, Davis Mills was short a couple games, so the numbers might have been
short a lot of players and good coaching too.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, man. And a neck. I give it to you. In a vacuum, obviously New England Mac Jones is better than him. So he should be better. But I'm
Yeah.
saying if you just all things equal, man, this guy's just as good. Are you saying Mills is like an 80-something rated quarterback in the league or rated player in the NFL?
No,
No, because it's stupid.
And he was such a late round draft pick. No one knows about.
Man,
He was a
stupid.
3rd round pick. Mac
It's
Jones
stupid.
was a 1st round pick.
It's stupid, man.
Overall
that
15.
That list lost all validity when they did that. That's stupid.
But no one thought Mac Jones was going to have the year that he had either.
It's just like people put CD Lamb as a top 5 or 6 wide receiver in the NFL lately. I'm like, that's dumb, man. That dude was like the 3rd receiver on his team last year.
We'll see. He's number 1 now.
Yeah, you'll see. You'll see when ain't nobody there.
See. Yeah, man, we'll see. Hey, if you haven't already done so, just like to give a friendly plug. Please go like and subscribe to this channel. Share. The more likes you provide us, the more shares, the more subs we get, the more we can grow. We just really appreciate that. So please go like, sub, and share. And how upset are you that Terry McLaurin didn't make the NFL top 100?
He did.
Does he deserve it? Well, there's the chances are that he's not going to. If he's hasn't made it so far,
Mac Jones
is not going to.
Mac Jones is in there, dog.
And they're only on 50. We haven't even gotten below
Mac Jones is
51
in the 80s.
yet.
Mac Jones in the 80s. I guarantee you call New England right now, they trade Mac Jones for Terry.
Because
I like Mac Jones though. Like, I don't know shade of Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones is a good player, man. I think if you're asking me what he's going to be, that's a different story. But if you're asking me right now, after what I've seen in the NFL, if he's in a top 100, fuck no, man. And he's definitely not better than Kirk Cousins, man. I feel like the world is set out to just fuck with me sometimes. When I read shit like that, I'm like, y'all, it's the Lord fucking with me. This can't be real. I'm like trapped in the upside down or some shit. It's stupid as hell.
We're in the Matrix. We're in a
ignorant
opposite day.
It's ignorant, bro.
Up is down, down is up, left is right.
It's one of the most ignorant lists I've ever seen, besides the one that had 10 quarterbacks in the league and none of them had Lamar Jackson on it. That list was worse. But this is stupid. Like, no one thinks you can name 20 quarterbacks. No one will mention him as in the top 20.
No.
Like that might be, if he is top 20, he's like 17 through 20. There's a lot of quarterbacks at this point are better than him. 3 years from now, who knows, man?
But remember when we were talking about Terry's contract, I think we probably routed off about 10 receivers who are better than Terry.
Yeah, but they aren't on the list.
No.
They aren't on the list.
We made a list and we said that Terry was in the mix with the 8 through 12 crowd.
8 through 12. Yeah, 8 through 12. Right there in the sweet spot.
I think he's as low as 12, but I get it. I mean, he got a chance. Like, I think McLaurin's one of those guys that I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up top 5.
Yeah.
At the end of it, I'll sit down. I wouldn't be surprised personally. But
yeah,
I mean, if you ask me up to right now, there's a lot of dudes that, Terry's one of them guys that if you watch the games, you might believe it, man. But if you just look at him generally like other receivers, he's not top 15. So I imagine, what am I missing when I don't see the other players play? Because I watch Terry because I'm a Terry fan. I'm a Washington fan. But I don't really watch Indianapolis and see what that dude's doing. But at the end of the year, you look at the stats, he had a better year.
Yeah, I mean, he 77 catches, 1,053 yards, and 5 touchdowns. That's kind of pedestrian for wide receivers in this league, but look at who is throwing him. Look at who's under center.
Yeah.
That doesn't make anything different, but that's what a lot of people see. They see just
to watch the film.
Yeah, that is an average 1A, 1B, 2A sort of numbers for a wide receiver with a decent quarterback. So I don't know. It's to be seen. You know what? I hope he proves everybody wrong, because we'll be the benefactors of that, and this team will just win
until he makes Pro Bowls and All Pros and wins playoff games and has moments. He's going to always be only a number one receiver on a bad team. He doesn't.
Yeah. Well, and until then, we don't know. All we can do is hope. But who knows, fellas? This was fun. Peep the Mario in the background, compliments of Dev. Dev does all of our music, so we have an in-house musician. We are blessed. We are lucky. We don't have to outsource none of the music. So all the music you hear on this show comes from that man right there. His brain, his processing, his stereo, his beats, it all comes from him. So if you have any questions as far as where's our music from, where it's ever been, we only play stuff made by our guy in-house. So shout out to Dev.
Nothing is finer than a Sean Steiner recliner. Y'all remember that? Like Papa Pump out here. Big Papa Pump.
Big Papa Pump.
What's the other dude that was like basically a porn star? Not Val Venus, but the one on NWA.
Buff
the one on
Bagwell.
WCW.
Buff Bagwell.
Buff Bagwell, yeah. Fucking love that guy, man. So
That
corny.
dude actually became a legit gigolo.
Really?
Ooh.
He seemed like he'd be fat. Like he got out wrestling.
I saw him on a little like YouTube bit or whatever that Diamond Dallas Page did, and he was fit as hell. Like, this dude's still in shape.
Yeah.
He still got hair on his head too.
Slanging ding-a-ling.
Well, y'all got any shout outs before we close out? Phil, you got any shout outs?
Shout out to the 5 follower people on Twitter that are hating on me right now. Because apparently I'm on the Commander's payroll, guys.
A mouthpiece.
Give me some money, man. I'm off for COVID right now.
I wished I was on the Commander's payroll. I wish they paid me.
Hey, why didn't you talk about? Hey, Phil, you got to meet Ric Flair, bro. You
Yes.
about that to anybody. He met Ric Flair since the last podcast.
I met Ric Flair. I also got to meet John Carpenter as well.
Can you do a Ric Flair imitation?
Woo!
No, you gotta do the speech, man. Dude.
Oh,
Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, woo, kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun.
Son of a
having
gun.
a hard
I'm having
time.
a hard time
holding
keeping these alligators down.
You guys
Only
go.
one.
I am Space Mountain.
Woo!
That's right.
That's pretty good.
You know he's gonna come here and get Ric Flair.
I
like
wish
Jamal
I
Flair, the
could
Black
remember-
Ric Flair, Tyrone
remember-
Flair.
I wish I could remember the bit he did about Tully Blanchard wearing a Mickey Mouse watch. That was one of the funniest things ever. But yeah, I went up to Steel City Con on Saturday. I actually watched the game recorded when I came back home.
I'm guessing that's Pittsburgh.
It is Pittsburgh.
Yin's your territory.
It was definitely Yinzer territory. I had to explain to my friend who's originally from Jersey what a Yinzer is.
What is a Yinzer?
It's people from Pittsburgh. You know how people in the South say y'all?
Mm.
In Pittsburgh,
Oh,
they say
Yins.
Yins.
Let's say that here too.
Well, they're transplants like everybody else from Pittsburgh.
Yonder, youngins, y'all.
Yin's
Y'all.
going to
Fintu, I think Fintu's probably the one.
Yin's going to go see the Steelers game? Yeah.
Fit to go to the stove. Mhm.
But yeah, it was pretty cool. I got to meet Ric Flair. I got to meet John Carpenter, of course, Master of Horror. Met AEW women's wrestler Anna Jay. She's an 11.5 out of 10.
Boom.
Y'all seen Terminator 3, right?
Which one's that?
Yeah.
That's the one with the Terminatrix.
Is that the blonde haired girl, short hair, the fine
Yeah,
chick?
yes.
Yeah, I seen that one.
I got to meet her, Christina Loken.
Man. She's in something else I like too that just happened.
She's apparently directing and producing some new movie too.
She was in Tomorrow War, right?
That was
was her.
Tomorrow War?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
She was the lead woman.
All is shit, by the way.
Yeah, she's in Tomorrow War. She's
Yeah,
the
like
woman that-
even if she took her heels off, she'd be my height. But of course, she had wedges on. So she was taller than me, and I'm 6'1".
Really
But I got pictures taken with all these celebrities. I got the coolest dude I met there. Believe it or not, Joey Fatone.
Oh, in sync. Joey.
Believe it or not, that
I'm
dude
black. I
is
don't
one of
know
the
who that is.
nicest human beings. Like, he spent way more time with each person that came through his line than anybody had any right, getting time spent with him by a celebrity.
He's been performing a lot at Vegas too with the rest of the one of the dudes from Boys to Men, Louis Despacito, Lance Bass, Joey Fatone, and Nick Carter from Backstreet Boys. They have a show at Vegas. They do. They just sing they sing Boys to Men, NSYNC, Backstreet. They just sing all the 90s.
We
pop
know he
and R&B
hosts
songs.
like 2 game shows too, right?
Does
We
he
start
know?
our own boy band on the weekend.
By the way, he also if you watch Family Feud, he's the guy who introduces Steve Harvey at the beginning.
Oh, step.
You just don't see him. That's his voice.
Who is it?
That's his voice. He even says, "I'm Joey Fatone." Thank
Hey,
you for
did
watching
you know
Family
Joey
Feud."
Fatone introducing Steve Harvey on the Family Feud?
I mean, it's crazy when I found it out. I was like, "No shit." But yeah, he's like super cool dude. I met Alicia Silverstone. She was really tired.
She got a big head.
She looked like it too.
Nah, I'll tell you what, she's aged well. She has aged well.
She had a massive dome.
She does have a bit of a big dome, but I mean, She's very pretty in person. So is Christina Loken. One of the my buddy got to meet Wayne Knight. If y'all watch Seinfeld, Newman.
No.
Okay, I know you don't watch Seinfeld. You're not white.
I don't watch it.
My roommate in college, man, he loved Seinfeld, man. That's why I don't watch it. I'm like, hey,
He ruined it
that
for
and
you.
Friends.
Okay.
Friends is like the worst. Friends
Jurassic Park?
By the way, Friends is living single, man, with white folks in it. It's the same show, man.
It is.
Exact same show.
On
They
it.
bullshit
You
living
watch
single. It's
Jurassic
a
Park?
show, man.
Have you watched Jurassic Park?
World.
Like the new Jurassic Park?
No, the original one.
Yeah, with Samuel Jackson.
No, not with Samuel Jackson.
Yeah. Barber
he
tone,
wasn't-
man.
he wasn't
Yeah.
that
Yeah, he had a cameo.
By the way, they
He-
got an Easter egg for him in the
cigarette
new one,
smoker.
by the way. It's pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
that's right.
Yeah.
He did. No, but remember the guy who had the computer, the guy who's kind of the bad guy. He does the whole
Samuel Jackson.
That's
yeah,
Wayne Knight.
Oh, yeah. The guy from
he was
Space
he was
Jam.
Newman.
Yeah, he was in Space Jam.
Jam.
My buddy got like a ton of stuff autographed by him.
That's pretty dope, man.
Like he was a pretty funny guy.
He was
And
the
then-
revolting blob in Billy Madison.
Fuck
Yes.
that guy, though. Tell me more about Alicia Silverstone. You know what I'm saying? Someone to hear about. I don't care about him.
All right, well, I'm not talking about all these people, but yeah, Alicia Silverstone is.
Why were you there, though?
My buddy is huge into cons, and like he just didn't want to drive to Pittsburgh by himself. So I was just like, I'll go with you. What the hell? Ric Flair's going to be there.
That would have been enough for me.
Yeah,
I won't drive 11 hours to go see the Commanders, but Ric
nature
Flair.
boy.
Yeah, man.
Well, Flair's doing the con circuit, so I'm sure he'll be somewhere in Louisville at some point.
Yeah, I'm not even going to Louisville. That's what gas is killing, man.
Mm.
Louisville's pretty rough.
Well,
That's 'cause
Dev,
you drive- that's because you drive a freaking Hummer too.
I'd use my girl's van if I did that.
I would be remiss if I didn't let you know that Andy Burrows kind of called you out. He listens to our show religiously, and he remembered you saying, "I don't fly. I've never flown. I'm afraid to fly." He was like, "Get your ass up to DC."
I have flown once, by the way. It was before 9/11.
And come to a Commanders
training
game.
trip, and it was so horrible of a trip that I busted home from Nebraska.
Oof.
Took like 2 days. So I'm not going to fly again, man, unless I got to. My girlfriend
Greyhound
wants me to go to Hawaii with her. Luckily, those plans fell through. So I'm trying to figure out where she's trying to.
Look. Greyhound is cheap, but do you really want to take your chances? Because you might not make it to your destination alive,
That's true.
or with all your money intact.
Well, that's true.
Well, Andy and all the crew from the UK are coming to week 1, so if you can find a way to get up here September 11th for the game, you should do so. He's coming in Thursday and
I have
staying
a
for a
daughter
while.
that's born on September 11th. That
Okay.
day also, by the way.
Oh God, where's he staying?
They're staying at a Airbnb in Oxon Hill at a PG County. It's a nicer place.
Oh, okay. I was about to say
Yeah.
Oxon Hill. I know a lot
Yeah.
about Oxon
Oh,
Hill.
I know Oxon Hill.
Have you ever
I
seen
think
an
it's
ox
funny.
though in a
He
while
stays
though?
in Airbnb at Oxon Hill. His introduction to America was Martinsburg, West Virginia. This dude cannot find a decent place in this
Would
country.
that be any relation to Ollie Oxen Free? That's the
No.
only one I.
Shut up.
Only thing free in Oxon Hill.
By the
ask
way, I
is
wanted to
New
ask
York.
you guys: have you ever like stayed up late at night or woke up real early on Saturday morning and turned on ESPN2?
I have, but
Bro, they got a professional fucking freeze tag league, man.
Oh, that's been out for a long time.
Yeah,
And
that's
then-
been around for a while, dude.
And after that, I watched a professional dodgeball league where they had balls about this big around. They was like girls and guys mixed in.
No.
It was
Time out.
lighting,
I got you beat, Dev.
Dudes up, bro.
I was watching ESPN2 the other day, and they were broadcasting the Ocho on ESPN2.
Yeah.
It was the World Air Guitar Championship
Dude, they got a world air guitar championships.
on the Ocho, but it was on ESPN2 because I only have 2 ESPNs. I'm like, this is fake. It has to be fake,
No,
and it was a real thing.
yeah,
I could not believe it.
they have air band Tyler. I mean, Dev says make a boy band. Fuck that. Let's make an air band.
I want to
Oh,
do a paintball maze or some shit. Paintball gun.
I used to be in a paintball league. I used to be on an actual paintball team.
I haven't won paintball since high school, man.
man. All right, fellas.
In
Well, this-
'85, man, I was dangerous.
I want to go on. I want to bring back American Gladiators and shoot them Nerf ball guns.
they've tried multiple times. It just keeps
I know.
failing, which
But
is
they
crazy.
put the
'cause
rock
it's a
in every
great
fucking
show.
thing, man. You can't put The Rock in everything, man. It's stupid. Like he's not really that great of an actor. I know people get mad at me saying that. Like The Rock's good at shit. The Rock's good at like superheroes, some shit. Call The Rock a comedy where
Black Adam's going to suck. I'm predicting it now.
Well, I don't think the XFL will fail this time around either, with him at the helm and his ex-wife and his other business partners. I think the XFL is going to be here to stay.
Black Adam's going to be trash.
Yeah, Black Adam's going to be great, bro. I'm sorry. Black Adam's going to be good.
That's my hot take.
I want to see Black Adam versus the Justice League, though, next. So I don't know how they're going to incorporate dumbass Shazam into this, because he's like a character.
Oh, that dude was at the con, too.
Yeah, but Shazam's excellent, by the way. I love Shazam.
Oh,
but I'm like, it's stupid, though. It's silly. Like, how are y'all going to incorporate that into what seemingly looks like Black Adam's a serious fucking guy? And that's their
counterparts. My kids' books that I read, their board books I read to them, it's always Black Adam likes to fight. Shazam likes to make peace. They're always
fighting each other in the comics, though. They got the same powers.
Yeah.
So I'm just.
Why didn't they put Black Adam in Shazam the first time instead of Evil Dr. Thaddeus?
Because Shazam is an ass, bro. Like Shazam is like a jokester. He's like a what's his name? Ryan Reynolds. What's that fucking
Deadpool?
Yeah, he's like a PG version of Deadpool. He just does ignorant stuff, run around town, do ignorant stuff, and then you got this crazy Black Adam dude who doesn't like take his powers like lightly. He just
serious.
I don't know. I want to see it. I don't know when they're gonna be able to do that, because that's what's supposed to happen.
Yeah,
he's supposed to whoop. The comics say he's supposed to whoop Superman's ass, and then Shazam saves him. Basically, it also has a what's the crazy dude with the rides a motorcycle in space?
Ghost Rider.
Lobo.
Oh,
Lobo's in that too. So we'll see.
All right. Well, good stuff, fellas. We recap preseason game 1, and this weekend we got coming up the Chiefs game for preseason game 2. So. And we appreciate you sticking around for this long, if you actually listen this long, which we know most of you don't, because the average listen times is down there. But if you made it this far, hey, we love you, especially in the audio world. Run that podcast up, like, share, subscribe. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, peace and hail. We'll catch you on the flip.